here at Peak Fitness and Sports Training, and today I want to tell you that warm-ups suck. I hate them, and I can't wait to get to lifting as quickly as possible. So I'm always looking for shortcuts. On the flip side, one thing that I have done really well is stay healthy as I continue to increase my performance, specifically strength as it relates to powerlifting. Now, powerlifting is a very unique sport, and you might not be a powerlifter at all, but I think there's a lot of benefit in the conversation that we're going to have today. So inside of this conversation, again, powerlifting only has 3 lifts, which means I don't have a lot of variability in terms of the things that I need my body to do and in terms of the things that I'm actually training for. So it's easy to get into overuse patterns, to get into poor, faulty postures from doing the same things repetitively. So let's flash back a couple years. We used to use something called an extended warm-up. So we'd basically do our mobilization type exercises on the ground, and then we'd go to a few low-level exercises such as band pull-aparts or mini-band side steps, or something that would help us get a little bit of work capacity in a meaningful way. Now, I threw these out after a while because the exercises were kind of bullcrap. We're just doing things to get some range of motion or just do a little bit of extra work for the muscles, but I wasn't really driving some adaptations. So over a couple years, I got back to doing all my stuff on the ground, and I find myself skipping the warm-up a lot, only to come back to this idea of the extended warm-up. You see, when we're training, you want about 20% of the work to be very high intensity, and we want about 80% of that work to be very low intensity. And in terms of training goals, there are different goals with these two things. When we're doing the 20% or that high intensity stuff, it's about strictly motor output. It is about performance. It's about getting under the weight and pushing as hard as you can, really trying to drive physiologic performance. But if you do that all the time, you kind of end up down this rabbit hole where your body gets a little bit wrecked. So this other 80% of low intensity work is your opportunity to reinvest in your body, to make sure that it moves the way that it needs to move, that you have integrity of all the joints, that you have access to variability or joint range of motion, and ultimately that you prepare your body with a solid foundation from which to drive performance. So enter the extended warm-up. Now I have new goals for the extended warm-up that I'm using in my current program, and so I'd just like to share with you one specific example with a squat. You see, when I get under the bar, as a power lifter, I'm going to extend a little bit. So I've got my lifters on, I've got a belt, I've got a ton of weight on my back, and I'm just trying to go down and up with that. But really what I want is I want to make sure that I'm not moving around the rest of my day like I'm stuck in a squat rack. I need to find some hamstrings to pull my hips back under me. I need to find some abs to make sure that my rib cage isn't flared out or I'm driving my body forward. We think of this area in the center as a box. 2 sides, a front and a back, and a top and a bottom. And to get this top and bottom position under control, I need those hamstrings, and I need some abs as well as an exhalation to get in that position. And that's what I'm going to use a goblet squat for in the extended warm-up. So I'm not just grabbing this and banging it out, warming my legs up. I'm being very specific and trying to get a sensory motor sensation as I'm executing here. So I'll find my heels. I'll soften my knees so I can get some hamstrings, and I'll get a nice exhale as I reach that bell forward. That's going to give me some abs, and before I even move, I found my hamstrings. You can see this is a lot different position than what I started in. From there, I'm going to pull down with my hamstrings, going knees first and hips back. And it's not the greatest squat here, but it's good enough. This is how we might incorporate that extended warm-up. We can still build capacity. We can still build good positions and postures, and we can actually drive fitness adaptations that underpin all of the performance stuff that you want to achieve. Do I need more range of motion than this? At the bottom of a squat, if I'm doing a Spider-Man lunge, that's about the same angle I'm getting at my hip and knee. So I think all the things we're trying to do with mobilizations can be reinforced by the exercise selection you choose for an extended warm-up. The squat, again, is just one example that we use. We have several more here at PeakFast, and if you have any questions, feel free to visit our Instagram page or my personal Instagram page where I share a few examples with you, or reach out and we'll talk to you about how to set up a warm-up that's going to help serve you to drive performance over the long term, but keep your body healthy. This is Coach Ryan signing off.